Okay, so if you're ready, Natalie, here's question number 1. Who, if anyone, inspired you to join the Green Party?
Well, I joined the Green Party on the 1st of January 2006, so I was a New Year's resolution Green. And it wasn't a person, but really the state of the world. I think if you look back then, we were sort of in the era when Gordon Brown reckoned we'd abolished boom and bust and everything was fine. But I looked around the world and saw, around Britain, and saw the levels of inequality rising. I saw the state of the world in terms of things like not just climate change, but also our soils, our oceans, the state of things, and thought I should do something. So I didn't really know that much about the Green Party or Green Party characters. What I thought was I looked at the policies and thought those are the policies we need to fix the huge pressing problems that we're experiencing now.
Great stuff. So question number 2 of Bob's 5 questions. What is your vision for the Green Party?
My vision for the Green Party is that we get into power, that we create a society that operates for the common good, where nobody needs to fear not being able to put food on the table, keep a roof over their head, where people have a genuine security. They don't fear old age, they don't fear what's going to happen to their children or their grandchildren, that there's a certainty about the future, that we're living within our planetary limits while we're delivering a decent society. And when you come to the planetary limits, ultimately that's not politics, it's physics. In Britain, collectively, we're using the resources of 3 planets every year, our share, but we've only got 1. So we have to come back to 1 planet living, but we also have to make sure everyone has a decent life. What we're doing now is we're trashing the planet and creating a pretty miserable, unequal, insecure society. We can both stop trashing the planet and create a better society at the same time.
Great. Okay, number 3. What are your personal core values?
For me personally, I'm not religious, I'm not spiritual, but I've chosen a long time ago now to think that I'd like to leave the world a little bit better than it would have been if I hadn't been around. So I'm trying to make a positive difference. And that means both big scale, changing politics, changing the way things work, but also it means treating people on a day-to-day level, a personal level, always treating people as you'd like to be treated yourself, treating people decently. And that's crucial. And one of the things we find with the Green Party is a lot of people are very passionate, very caring, throw all of themselves into it. One of the things we've got to do is make sure we look after our own people as well. We have to be sustainable ourselves and sustain each other, as well as the broader scale issues. Mm-hmm.
So Bob's question number 4. How do you handle setbacks?
For me, by far the biggest setback, the tragedy in my life was I was 23 when I was involved in a car crash in which my mother was killed. Now that's something that you never get over, you learn to live with. So I think one of the things I acknowledge is, setbacks scar you. There is scar tissue, there's damage that never goes away, but you learn to live with and manage that damage. And I think also, as a journalist and drawing on that experience, sometimes in politics and in life something happens and it feels like the end of the world. But the first question is, did anyone die or get seriously injured as a result of whatever it is that's gone wrong? And if they didn't, it's probably not it's not that big a thing in the overall scale of things. So try and keep things in perspective, but also acknowledge that most of us carry some kind of damage that you just have to learn to live with.
Mm-hmm. And the very last one, you'll be pleased to know. What is your message to Rugby Greens?
My message to Rugby Greens is, we've got great ideas. Very often, those ideas over perhaps a 10-year period have been adopted by other parties and have come into being. 10 years ago, we started talking about the living wage, and then George Osborne conceded the principle, if not delivered the reality, saying we would have a living wage in Britain. 20 mile per hour speed limits where people live, work and shop. A decade ago we were saying that and people said, it's those radical Greens and they're way out ideas. Now it's a perfectly mainstream. The City of London is entirely 20 mile per hour. So we've traditionally as Greens led the way in politics. But the scale of change, the speed of change we need now is such that we can't just keep presenting the ideas and waiting for others to catch on. We need to actually get elected. and be there to implement them at the seats of power in council in Westminster. So I think we have to keep presenting those good ideas, keep persuading people, but we also have to get people elected. And I think we've got a real chance here in rugby. People are looking for a clean green broom sweeping through some local dusty corridors. I think we can do that. So good luck with that. I look forward to coming back and meeting your first councillor.
Lovely. Natalie Bennett, thanks ever so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Great questions.
Thank you.